Beautiful morning, children. You're welcome to Divine Offspring International School, to a virtual classroom. Our subject today is mathematics. All right. Once again, I say hi to you, and welcome to today's lesson. Today we will continue from where we stopped last week on the topic ordering fractions. Okay, now for this lesson you will need your pencil, you also need a book, and you have to be in a quiet environment. Then I'll need you to pause this video to get these things if you don't have them yet. Then quickly go to your backpack and get your pencil and your book. All right. Okay. Now, to a very important question I need to ask you. What was our topic last week? Someone is thinking. Someone is thinking. You have the answer now? Okay. Beautiful. Put your hands together for yourself. Wow. Ordering fractions with the same denominator. Ordering fraction with the same denominator. Okay, that's very good. Okay, today we shall study, or we'll be looking at the topic ordering fractions with the same numerator. Last week was the same denominator. Today is the same numerators. Okay. Our star words for this week, the first star words for this week is numerator. The second one is the denominator. The third one is decreasing, and the last one is increasing. Then I'll need you to pause this video and check or look up these words in your dictionary. Get the meaning and know how to spell the words. All right. Okay. Now, fractions are very, very important in everyday life. We use fractions every day. Now, let's look at some of the importance of fractions in our everyday life. Number one, fraction can actually be used when telling time. You can use fraction when telling time. Each minute is actually a fraction of an hour. You can actually use fraction, or bakers makes use of fraction when baking. When they want to measure the quantity of flours or ingredients they will make use of, they make use of fraction. They use the knowledge of fraction. Then you can see the DOIS baking powder. Okay. Quickly to a review question. I'll need you to quickly answer this based on what you were taught last week. Remember, last week you were taught ordering fraction with the same what? Beautiful. Okay, that's right. Now let's look at this review questions. Arrange the following fractions from the smallest to the greatest: 5 over 10, 2 over 10, 4 over 10, and 3 over 10. The second one is 2 over 11, 9 over 11, 12 over 11, and 3 over 11. Quickly answer that. You can pause this video to answer the question. Okay, let's continue. If you've done that, your answers will be, the first one will be 2 over 10, followed by 3 over 10, 4 over 10, and the greatest is 5 over 10. Then we've arranged it from the smallest to the what? To the greatest. Now let's look at the second one. The first one is 2 over 11, followed by 3 over 11, followed by 9 over 11, and the smallest is 12 over 11, right? Okay, because we're asked to arrange it from greatest to smallest, right? Okay. Okay, are we ready? Let's move on. Now let's move on to the real topic for today: ordering fractions with the same numerators. Ordering fractions with the same numerators. Now let's look at this. Ordering is actually or it means arranging something, or arranging something actually in increasing or decreasing order. It's either you say ordering is arranging something from the smallest to the biggest, or arranging something from the biggest to the smallest. Then we can see the circles there arranged from the smallest to the what? Biggest. When it's arranged from the smallest to the biggest, that means it's in increasing order. And when it's arranged from the biggest to the smallest, it is what? Decreasing order. Right? Okay. Ordering fractions with the same numerators. Now there is a very important note, very important sentence I need you to note in this lesson. It will be very, very important for you all through this lesson. Okay, and it says to order fractions with the same numerator, we consider the what? Denominator. To order fractions with the same numerators, we consider the denominator. The fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Take note, the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Right? Okay, then put that in mind, that the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. And I can put it to song. The fraction with the smallest denominator. The fraction with the smallest denominator. The fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest fraction. Good. If you actually, I need you to learn that song so as to know what to do when we start our examples. All right. Okay. Now let's look at this example. Order 2 over 5, 2 over 7, 2 over 3, 2 over 9 from the smallest to the greatest. Actually, we have two different ways to answer this. I'm going to teach you the first way, and in our second example, we'll look at the second method, right? Okay. Now, we can do this in two ways, just as I said. The first method is to draw shapes to represent each fraction. You draw shapes, it's either a rectangle, a square, whatever kind of shape you would want to draw. Draw shapes to represent each fraction. Then the first one, 2 over 5, we can see it's actually the rectangle is divided into 5 places and 2 sides shaded. The second one, 2 over 7, 2 sides shaded. The third one, 2 over 3, just 2 sides shaded. And the last one, 2 over 9, 2 sides shaded. Now, we can see from the shaded parts of the shapes that 2 over 9 has the smallest shaded parts, right? Because when you look at 2 over 9, we still have a lot of empty unshaded parts there. Then 2 over 9 has the smallest shaded parts, followed by 2 over 7, 2 over 5, and finally 2 over 3. That means that 2 over 3 has the greatest shaded part. Now, this means that 2 over 9 is the smallest and 2 over 3 is the greatest. Now, arranging it, we have 2 over 9, which is the smallest, followed by 2 over 7, followed by 2 over 5, and the least is what? The greatest, sorry, is 2 over 3. Now, we are going to use this same question for the second example. We're going to use this same example for the second method. Now, let's look at this. The second method of the same question: order 2 over 5, 2 over 7, 2 over 3, and 2 over 9 from the smallest to the greatest. Don't forget the song, right? Can you take the song with me? Okay, I can see you singing it. Wonderful. Now, I need you, don't forget that the fraction with the smallest denominator is the what? The biggest, right? Okay. Now, let's arrange the denominator. Check the denominators. They are 5, 7, 3, and 9. Then we need to arrange the denominators from the biggest to the smallest so as to bring out the smallest from it. Then now, let's arrange them. We have 9 is actually the biggest from the denominator, followed by 7, followed by 5, and the least is 3. Now, from these numbers, which one has the smallest denominator? Beautiful. I love that. Someone just said 3. Who is that person? Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, 3 has the smallest denominator. Then that means that 2 over 3 is actually the what? The greatest or the biggest fraction. Okay, now let's arrange it from the smallest to the biggest. Then 9 over 7, which is 2 over 9, followed by 2 over 7, followed by 2 over 5, and finally the greatest is 2 over 3. If you still do not understand, I'll need you to play this video again and you get it this time, right? Okay. I need you to quickly answer this quiz test on what the explanation I just given. The first one, order 2 over 7, 2 over 7, 2 over 3, 2 over 9 from the smallest to the greatest, and the other one from the greatest to the smallest. Alright, now hope you enjoyed today's lesson. See you in our next class. Bye.